Welcome to Speak. Well, the breaking news in the NFL is Dak Prescott, star quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, seen with a walking boot on his foot as he was in Cabo, Mexico. A huge deal when you're talking about America's team and their biggest player, their most notable player with a boot on his leg. Well, before we get started, happy July 4th, Shady. Happy Independence Day. Happy, you don't really what, Shady?
I don't want to get down with the fourth like that.
Yep.
You know what's going on.
So happy
4th to those who observe.
Yes. Thank you. To the 4th observers.
Just not everybody does.
Not everybody does.
We're at work, so we're not really observing.
We're at work, but y'all are observing us. Let's get right to it. This is Speak. I'm Emmanuel Acho. That's Slick Rick Bucher, NBA analyst extraordinaire, the brilliant Joy Taylor to his right, and the Eagles' all-time rushing leader, LeSean. Shady, why are you getting your neck loose? You're not about to break any tackles. We're sitting behind a desk. It's safe here.
No, it's a game, though, right?
It's safe.
And we're about to talk Dak, so you should get loose.
Shady, let me start with you. Dak Prescott, he's in a walking boot. He's the quarterback for America's team. Is it a big deal? Is it no deal? Something or nothing?
I got a better question, though.
Yes, sir.
Can we show the shot one more time? Because you're looking at the boot, right?
Yes, sir. What did I miss?
You guys looking at the boot?
What did I miss?
You know what's crazy is I looked at the same thing. The difference is that Shady was about to say.
The quarterback of the Cowboys, the star quarterback of the Cowboys.
Yeah. What's that
Are
shoe?
those big? What is that, Tom? What is that? What are those, though?
What shoes is he wearing?
And you guys want this guy to win a playoff game and take them to the Super Bowl. What he got on? What is that?
I mean, I can't talk today. I got on my Air Moseses out here.
What are those? Tom? What are those? Tom or
I have
Vans?
no idea.
Sorry.
He's about to go on a boat. You know, you can't wear. You're not supposed to wear shoes.
I've been on boats, right? I'll probably have some Louis Vuittons. I'll probably have some
those aren't topsiders either.
Sandals,
like,
I mean, my toes out. I don't know what those are. Tom.
Shady, is it something or nothing that Dak Prescott didn't have his toes out? Is it something or nothing that he was in a walking boot?
That ain't my quarterback. I'm gonna say it's nothing. I mean, it's early. Like we're in a what? Off season. We're in July. I mean, guys are not just hanging out. Probably having a cocktail. He's going on the boat to hang out. He has a lot of time to get himself prepared for this season. So, one thing about Dak, I mean, I don't think he's like an injury-prone type of player, right? He has some injuries, but overall, he's solid overall. So I'm not worried about it. I mean, it's a lot of time left. It's in July. He'll have some time to get himself together. I'm not tripping about that.
But you are tripping about the shoes.
Yeah, my quarterback wearing that? I mean, God. Tom Brady, 40+, he ain't running around with those on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I'm all big on what Deion said, right?
What do you say?
You look good, you play good. If you play good, Dak, they will pay good. And if you pay good, what's the rest?
That's it.
That's it.
I think it's something. Joy, I think it's something. Rick, I think it's something. Shady America, I think it's something. But the only reason I think it's something is not because he's in a walking boot. I think he'll be fine by the season. I just don't like when quarterbacks aren't cognizant of the optics. I hate that. Aaron Rodgers, optics. You wanted to go to Egypt during OTAs. It might not be a big deal. Like Joy said, it might not have any implications on the season. But what are the optics? When you are in a managerial position, it's not just about what you do. It's about what does it look like you're doing. And for me, you're the quarterback of America's team. Why are you seen in public in a walking boot knowing you fractured that leg 4 years ago, knowing that people will start to look into, well, is he healthy? Is he not healthy? Why is he in a boot? If you're in a boot, he must have got an MRI. If he got an MRI, what's he trying to protect? You don't just walk around in walking boots for no reason, America. I got hurt 7 times in 8 years, between 4 years college and 4 years pro. 7 times. There's a reason for walking boots. There's a reason for braces. There's a reason for casts. There's a reason for wheelchairs. There's a reason for canes. So it's not nothing. It might be nothing in the long term, it might be nothing in the big picture, but it's not nothing right here, right now. But more than anything, it's something that you don't have enough cognition to say, you know what? Let them not see me while I'm down. Let them not see me while I'm hurt, so they don't write about it, so they don't talk about it, so they don't try to assume what's going on. Only reason, Joy, it's something to me, not because it'll have any implications or indictment on the season, but Dak, you're a $160 million quarterback. Be smart enough to not let us catch you in the walking boot. That's all I ask.
I mean,
excuse me. Bless you, sir. Thanks for waiting until I was done. That's growth. Usually you would have sneezed during my take.
You're right.
You would have sneezed before my take. But as soon as I was done, you sneezed. That's growth. That's maturation.
My boy.
My dog.
I've been working with you for some time now.
Yes, sir.
I know you do a lot of long takes, so I had to wait. Hold it.
Shady, that was a minute, 27 seconds.
How about you think?
Joy, something or nothing. It is the 4th.
Yeah, it is.
It's the fourth.
Oh, man.
This is a picnic.
For real. Did we get barbecue on set today?
No kidding.
I don't think it's anything. I understand that you are in a walking boot for a reason. He obviously had something done and he needs to protect it. And I'm sure he has a palatial estate in Dallas and a gorgeous sprawling pool and all these things. But that ain't Cabo. So look, it's an off season. He's clearly going on the boat. He's got his boat shoes. He's clearly in a marina. I mean, what's he supposed to do? He's supposed to, like, wrap it in an invisibility cloak or something? Like, it's okay. These things happen. This offseason is when you're supposed to get your work done. They're saying that he's going to be available for the season. So, like Shay said, he's not an injury-prone. If he was an injury-prone player, someone that we're constantly worried about, we've labeled him as fragile. He had an injury at the end of the season that affected him. Cool. I think the anxiety levels would be higher. But also the fact that we really didn't hear about it is what makes me worry about it even less. Guys get these type of things done in the offseason, particularly around this time, for a reason. So I don't think it's a big deal. I also don't think it's a big deal optically because what's he supposed to do? Like, what's he supposed to do?
Not let us see it.
So he's not supposed to go on the boat?
Not if you're going to get caught on a boat. I mean, I've gotten on and off trips without being seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same. I do it all the time. But, like, what's...
I mean, here's the Cowboys
Quarterback.
I will say this, though. I mean, we're asking all these questions about his injury and his ankle, his calf, whatever it may be, but, like, does it really matter? Because we know the results, right? Hell of a regular season, and then the postseason comes, and he's going to show up, right?
I was wondering when this was going to come up.
I'm just saying, no, seriously, though. It's like, healthy ankle or not,
Yeah.
the postseason comes to playoffs, right? It could be the most dominant team in the playoffs or the youngest team in the playoffs, the Packers. He's going to lose. I mean, so, like, do we really care about the ankle?
Slick, what do you care about?
It's something. It's something, in part. Now, is it a big something or is it a little something? As of right now, it's a little something.
Of course.
But we're just assuming the report that it's just a little sprain and no big deal. But we don't know that. I mean, we've had reports on Dak Prescott before. If I don't mistake, in the shoulder. It was a little something, right? And it wasn't going to hold. And then he missed all of training camp with it. And if it wasn't the same ankle that he dislocated in 2020 and broke, then. But that connection it's something because it makes me wonder if it's something. And what is it? And I know it's the off season, and I'm not saying that this immediately is a death knell for their season or anything like that. But I mean, walking boots. Joy just had this experience. Like, walking boots isn't like I'm going to put a brace on my ankle.
Nothing is safe in the meeting room no more. Crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
I didn't
It was
give
a
any
meeting room
details. I
conversation.
set it up
It
to
was a
say,
meeting room
See, like,
you wanted
I
to
was
give.
not photographed with the boot.
For context, America, we have meetings before the show starts. Before we let y'all into the world's conversation, we have our private conversations, and Slick just violated the rule. There's a meeting
Wait a
room
minute, I
conversation,
did?
and he made it a public.
All I did was note that you have been in a walking boot. I didn't say when, I didn't say how, I didn't say for what reason.
I
right?
can relate, yeah.
If you want to give that.
I mean, like, I was just talking about the boot. I could have said I was
Well, wait, is this, so wait, the meetings, conversations are safe?
Yes. Meeting conversations are not supposed to make
I mean, we're all honest people, though.
Yes, sir,
I'm not a liar. Are you a thief?
No.
You got to answer the questions.
Let's get back on track. So, Rick,
Sweating.
Look, we're talking about it. We have questions about it. I mean, we can dismiss all of it and say it's not a problem. He's wearing a walking boot. Like, that raises a question. And it's in the
We're not going to be in a walking boot for no reason.
Right? No. But see, that's not always true either, though. Because I'll sprain my, okay, let me not say sprain my ankle, but I've twisted my ankle a certain way, right? And I hopped off the field. And I was really cool. After a couple plays, warmed up a little bit. And then after practice, I said, hey, look, for precaution reasons only, let's just put you in a walking boot. So it's not like nothing, I was really hurt.
Right.
I guess it's prevent anything from happening.
Correct. But either way, to me, that's the issue. It's like precautionary reasons, like you just said. You're not wearing a walking boot right now. Obviously, you're not still playing football. But when we were in camp, you don't just wear a walking boot if you are perfectly fine and they don't have any questions about whether you're going to be fine or not. Again, 7 years, 4 years college, 4 years pro, broke my thumb, tore my quad, tore my MCL, tore my groin, tore my meniscus, tore my other MCL. So had a sports hernia. Whenever I was in a brace, it was because of a reason. I'm not just walking around with a thumb brace on. Like, it was for a reason. That's why I'm like, wait a second, Dak. Not to mention, remember, Dak used to be able to run the ball a little bit. We've forgotten because it's been so long. But early on in Dak Prescott's career, I think he had 6 rushing touchdowns in back-to-back-to-back years, if I am not mistaken. Jay, help me with that. And so Dak used to be able to run the ball a little bit. He no longer has run the ball as significantly or as substantially because he broke his leg. Now, we don't think of Dak Prescott as being injury-prone, in large part, America, because your first impression is your last impression. And Dak Prescott, the first 4 years of his career, always healthy. But after he broke his leg, remember the next year he had a calf injury, missed some games. Then after that, remember he had a thumb injury, missed some games. Yeah. So since that, Dak Prescott had a broken leg. Then the next year he missed some games with a calf injury. Then the next year he missed some games with a thumb injury. So Dak Prescott actually the last 4 years has been injury prone.
Well, everybody deals with injuries. It's a 100% injury rate in the NFL. I still don't think that Dak Prescott as somebody that's like fragile or injury prone just because he's had these injuries. Like this is pretty standard. He plays through them.
Yeah,
and the last that we saw of him, he was healthy.
All season long. And played at an all-pro level. Then I guess, Shady, all things considered, the Cowboys, Dak Prescott seen in a walking boot, might be a big deal, might be no deal, but family at the audience, let me remind you of last week, star player Micah Parsons. He got called out by his other teammate, Malik Hooker, because Micah Parsons does a podcast during the course of the offseason. During the course of the regular season, teammates like, yo, why are you doing a podcast when we are playing games? Star Cowboys receiver CeeDee Lamb. He's expected to miss training camp, holding out for a new deal. He wants to get some more money. Shady, are you concerned about the Cowboys' offseason drama when you think about all the issues?
No, I don't. Every team deals with this, right? I think the difference is just the Cowboys are a big brand, right? We look at the 49ers. I mean, they had some things going on over there. Debo, he might get traded. Rumors about that. Okay, Brandon Ayuk. Yo, are we going to get this deal done or are we not? Every team goes through this. This is the Cowboys. I think they'll figure it out, though. I think CeeDee Lamb, that's when they got to really figure out because Micah has an extra year left, right? And you know how good he is, right? He's probably one of the best players in the league. So you got to figure that out. And then the thing with Hooker is like, come on. Like, for example, it's 4th of July, right? One of my favorite times, okay? And I like to party a little bit.
You don't acknowledge.
I don't acknowledge, but I like to party a little bit. You know, a little cookout food. Mike Rubin has this big party. Yep. I would have been there if I'd had to work today. You know who's there? Not Hooker. Whoa, he's not invited. Hooker cannot show up and get in there. But Mike is there. It's levels to these things. So something like that, I think it's kind of big, but it's small because anytime teammates are going at it in the public, in the media, that could be an issue because it would be a distraction, right? We're losing games. Is it his fault? Is it his fault? Whose fault is it? And it makes it's chaotic a little bit. So other than that part, I think it should be fine.
Do I think any of these things are going to have an impact on their season? No. There's nothing there that I can look to and say this is going to make a difference with the Dallas Cowboys. To your point, like, we pay attention to every single thing the Dallas Cowboys do. The one reason we know about the whole Malik Hooker, Micah Parsons thing is because of a podcast. Not everybody has that platform or that exposure. So, yeah, no, I don't. I mean, honestly, of all those things, the boot is probably the biggest thing in terms of raising a question. What does this mean? What happened? And as I said, I don't think that's a big something. I think it's a little one.
I don't know. They've lost a lot of talent also.
Yes, they have. A lot of talent.
A lot of talent. They also lost some coaches. Like, do we think the Dan Quinn loss is significant?
He's a good coach.
Phenomenal.
I mean, they have a lot of talent. I mean, they still have
They still have a lot of talent, but they've had a lot of turnover. A lot of turnover. I do think the coaching matters. I mean, that's a side of the ball that we know is always going to show up. And consistent every single game and has a lot of the stars. So I don't know that there's any, the drama, the Micah thing, Malik Hooker thing, like that's a Cowboys type of thing. And to Shady's point, there is some changeover. There's contract things that happen with every single team. I don't know how much that drama affects it in so much as that the actuality of the losses and the volume of the losses that the Cowboys have taken. Year to year, we know that the Cowboys are going to be competitive. Are they going to take a step up this year? That's, to me, like when you look at the totality of the offseason, look at the drama, when you consider, Dak is in a boot, all these things, is that really what makes you feel good about the direction that the Cowboys are heading? Some of it could be nothing. All of it could be nothing. But when you look at the Cowboys offseason, has anything happened to make you feel like they're going to come back this year and be better?
That's well said. That's well said. And actually, my answer is now changed after what Joyce said. I don't really think the Dak thing's that big an issue. I don't think the CeeDee thing's that big an issue. Like Slick said, it's something, but it's a small something. What I'm interested to see is Micah this year with the Cowboys. Malik Hooker, he calls out Micah for the podcast. But then as Joy was talking, she brought up the defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, who left. Who's the new defensive coordinator? Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer.
What did Micah say about the new defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer? He said, honestly, me and Zimmer probably said a total of 20 words together. What else did he say? He said he's a very quiet person. Micah keeps hearing that Zimmer likes it this way. Well, I like it this way. And Zimmer's never had a player like me.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah. He said, obviously,
Yeah,
old school mindset, old school mentality. You know, I think he's had a lot of great players, but he ain't never had Micah. All of which is true.
Yo, wait.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's from Harrisburg, talking like that. Okay,
All of
Micah?
which is true. But I'm just going to wonder, like, this year, because money, I don't think it changes you. People always said, Acho, money changes you. Joy, I'm sure, Shay,
No.
you heard the same thing. Money just makes you more of who you are.
That's exactly
It only makes you more of who you are.
Yep.
So I'm just very curious as to see, like, how as Micah continues to become the budding star that he has earned the right to be, budding superstar that he's earned the right to be. He'll be the highest paid defensive player in the history of the National Football League. He'll probably make $175, $180 million. If it's Mulligetta, it might get to $200 million. So with all that being said, how's Micah going to gel both with the old school defensive coordinator, and now you got old school teammates calling you out? That might be the only potential concern, the crack in the windshield that I could see breaking.
But is there an expectation that the Cowboys are going to take some sort of big step next year? Were we anticipating that was going to happen? To me, to Shady's point, whether it's the quarterback or anything else, they're the same old Cowboys. I mean, they're in the mix, but there's nothing there that makes me put a bullet next to their name and say they're on the rise.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.